Okay, so how much would you spend on your favorite kind of pie? Oh, try $400. That's exactly what one cherry pie went for during an auction in Live Oak County.
$350, $350, $550, $75. We appreciate the help.
As you heard, the bidding was fast and furious over at the Live Oak County Livestock Auction near Three Rivers, with various items like baked goods up for grabs. The auction was part of the South Texas Cattlemen's Roundup, a grassroots fundraiser that benefits Driscoll Children's Hospital. We talked with one father at the event whose son received life-saving surgery at the hospital when he was just a baby. His son, now 15 and very healthy.
I think they're wonderful. Everybody there is courteous, very helpful. They explain everything before they do anything, so they're very good people over there.
Cakes that are auctioning off as high as $600.
And the fundraising auction was the first of 9 that will be held across the coastal bend.
They do it for many years and always well received at Driscoll.